Is anyone's brain hurting already? Like, I don't know if I've already done this one. And they want to draw it. And then they want to, and they're just like, it's just, nah, can't be bothered. I'm going to put you out of your misery because it is, I mean, it's not a huge number, but the difficulty is on working out how many times have you done that one already? Yeah. Have you got someone checking it? Is there a way of tracking that? And there's 46 different ways. If you're treating each stud as, if you say, top left-hand corner is number 1, bottom right is number 8, then all of those combinations are legal and numbered. But of course, once we start looking at orientation, we do have some rotational symmetry. So this one is just that if you rotate it 180 degrees. It is actually half except for these two guys, because you see they're just, you would only have built that once. One's across, one's directly on top of each other. So total is 24. But again, probably, I'm thinking ways that you could talk to kids about categorising those. And if they had enough bricks on the table, would there, what would be the categories that you would put it into? Would you say all the 1 stud connections, all the 2 stud connections, or or would you go more like that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, because the brick's moving in one plane? Or is it up and down? So there's lots of ways, I guess, mathematical discussions you can have with literally 2 bricks on the table. So another good example is the 50 brick challenge, which of course, depending on the number of kids, depending on the time you've got, you can make a 10 or 20 brick challenge as well. And they literally, the first thing they do is they go there and they grab a handful of bricks and they count out 20 bricks. And they can be the most random bits of rubbish. And then once you've got those, we call it like a seed part. There'll be something in there that'll speak to them and they'll go, oh, I like the door. I think I might use that as my starting point. But then I don't need wheels. But this is my bank. This is my bank balance. I've got my 20 bricks or whatever. Oh, but I want some windows. So I want some, there's a window. Great, I've got a window. I have to swap that one in. And they can either go, my favourite to build is a tree. I'll grab my random things, but obviously I need to trade it for a lot of greens, a lot of browns, and I'll just gradually build up my tree. And obviously there's a lot of literacy in there, there's a lot of discussion, there's a lot of things that you can talk about engineering, but the maths of it is also an incredibly strong discussion point about, what's the problem with working with 50? Then we look at volume, and we've got one kid that's basically all got 1x1s and 1x2s, and another kid that's done the biggest bricks he can find. He's built a massive tower. But there's still 50. That is still 50. Yeah, that's a nice fun one that you can do with a completely mixed up, mashed up box of bricks. Now this is one of my favourites, and the picture is, the challenge is, can you reach the ceiling? And that's an hour and a half with prep 1, 2, I think it was. And once they get onto a bit of a theme, off they go. My favourite one with the middle and upper school is that I'll let them go and they'll start building the towers like this, and then I'll start building sideways. And I'll grab the longest bricks I can, and I'll the picture of it in the next one. But I just love the fact that there's the amount of, what, that's not lit, what, how do you? The discussions about how to approach a task are huge. But then sitting back and going, well, how many bricks will it take? What estimate? Everybody write down how many bricks do you think it's going to take to get to a metre? And kids say, they're about 1 centimetre tall, so I reckon it'll be 100 bricks. Okay, yeah, I reckon 100 bricks, yeah, that'll get us up there, yeah. Oh, wait, no, they're a bit shorter than that, so I reckon, let's go 110, yeah. And those discussions are amazing. And, we just have our metre rule around, whatever it is, and they can constantly check their builds once they're actually going. And soon enough, they'll realise that just going with a big tower of 2x2s or 2x4s just doesn't have the strength, doesn't have the stability. Even if they started with a base plate, it's still going to flop and off it goes. So there needs to be some level of structural integrity, and depending on the group, I'll show them, there's a 6x6, 4x4, and then going with your spire, your 2x2, just don't put too much in the top bit. And this, obviously this one's holding up on its own. It's not particularly strong at the top there, but it'll hold up all right. And it's slightly over 1 metre. But I want everybody to estimate, that's to write down, I trust you, how many bricks do you think are in this tower? Okay, don't have to say it. You can have a little yes moment to yourself. So yeah.
So is the base hollow or not?
Good question. So yes, the base, this is almost entirely made of 2x4 bricks, which means that yes, the base, quite happily, the 4x4 will sit over those central studs on that 6x6 frame. And of course, that's also another question, which I think I put on the next slide, but so there's 3 sections. There's actually 10 layers of 6x6, which is made up again of 4x4s, 50 layers of the 4x4, and 45 layers just with the 2x2 bricks, which are obviously the different brick. And the discussions about, how much is in each section? Estimate just by looking at it. What do you think? Don't count them. What do you think? And you can obviously, some kids will be able to see the coloured blocks and go, well, there's definitely a block of at least 5 reds there, and I can use that as a measuring stick. My favourite one, I couldn't find the photo of it. I did the tower challenge, and it was just, the idea is to get to a metre, and then if you want a bonus challenge, try and get to the roof. But one of them made it entirely, and they went round to every single tub, scrounged around the bottom, entirely out of minifig parts. But they went leg, body, and it was disgustingly flexible, but it was just like, I love that you A, wanted to do that, B, out of these mixed tubs, there's not a lot of minifigs, you put in so much effort. And then they counted them up and told me how many minifigs. Can't remember how many, but it was very, very impressive. But yeah, good task. And yeah, there's building sideways. This one I went probably a little bit silly with on the bottom, but yeah, the idea that using the long bricks sideways can get you the roof, and that one is touching that roof. It's a big thing. So yes, I did want you guys to have a go, and I'm going to give you a choice. You can either try the tower challenge or the 50 brick challenge. If you don't feel like 50, you can go 20. But whatever number you go for, try to make it exactly that. There are 3 tubs. So there's a tub here, tub over there. Just grab a handful of bricks and start building. I might say in the end, I'd love the 50 brick challenge, so maybe we'll put them onto that table to be able to compare them. And if you want to do the tower, I would suggest working as a team. I'll put it on the table for you.
Thank you.
Let's lean.